Welcome to my podcast. My name is Karina. I come to you from the Pacific Northwest where I live with my partner, our 2 kitties, and 2 adopted Mustangs. Information about the Wild Horse Adoption Program will be in the episode description box. This podcast covers knitting projects, my horsemanship journey, and my other passions like vegetable gardening and bicycling. If you're new here, I hope you find the content interesting. If you're a returning viewer, it's always great to have old friends. The format of this channel typically includes musings on an early walk to the barn to feed the horses, then knitting content, some catch up on the horsemanship journey, and finally more musings or maybe a little bicycling footage if I was lucky enough to get out. Enjoy, and I hope to see you soon. Good morning, YouTube friends. Welcome to a journey through my house. I'm going out to feed the barn. Feed the barn? No, I'm feeding the horses. You can probably tell I am distracted a little bit. I had a rather frustrating knitting session this morning. Let me sit yet while I put on a jacket to get ready to go out there. And you probably, if you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new, hopefully the introduction explained what this podcast is all about. You may have seen in previous episodes my Briocherie sweater. I love the brioche. I hate the sweater. The V-neck is too big. There's a lot of bunching under the arm. I hope you notice that I am lifting my right arm. So for those of you who have been here before know that I injured my shoulder on January 10th very badly. Had to go to the ER. Can you tell that I'm trying to avoid talking about my Briocherie sweater and most likely frogging the whole thing? Because why knit something if you're not going to wear it? So this morning, I put my knitting down after I discovered how much I really don't like it, and played on my phone for a while to procrastinate the inevitable. Then I decided to go get dressed and go to Starbucks and get coffee and a nice croissant to console myself. I'm being very dramatic, and part of that's because I've had full strength coffee when I usually drink tea. That always makes me a little more dramatic. And I have to work today. So I also needed the coffee not only to soothe my tortured soul, but also just to get the gumption to work today. Normally Friday's my day off because I ordinarily work 4/10s. However, I was ill on Tuesday. I had a rotten headache. Could be the pollen. Could be the PT that I'm having done on my shoulder. I did talk to my PT yesterday and asked if it could affect my neck, which could potentially give me a tension headache, and he said yes. So all that to say, I'm working today instead. Part of it is because I have something that I really want to get done, and I have a meeting this afternoon. Can you tell I'm still avoiding talking about that sweater? I'll show it to you hopefully later this afternoon or tomorrow during the knitting segment of this podcast. It is later than usual. As I walk out to the barn, you can probably see it's a little bit cloudy. We've had some nice spring days, and in fact, Tuesday, the day that I spent most of the day in bed, was really warm. It was close to 70 degrees, and we haven't had anything near that since probably last fall. So when I was feeling better, Randy encouraged me to get out of bed, and we went for a nice short walk on a dike that is in the north part of Puget Sound, so not too far from here. So that was awesome. And also when I went to feed the horses after that, probably made a little bit of a fashion statement by wearing shorts and my rubber barn boots, because while it's warm, it's still muddier than heck. So the horses are waiting for their breakfast. Turn the camera around. Good morning, boys. I hope you're making good choices. So I'm going to feed them their hay. They'll get their green later. I think my trainer's coming. Hopefully my trainer's coming to continue to work with Bragi on trailer training, and they'll get their green before that. So I'll talk to you soon. Hey friends, welcome to the knitting portion of this podcast. I'm still getting settled here. I will point out what I am wearing. This is the Riverside sweater, which is made from local yarn. The pattern is out of Silver Screens, and it's based on a Sophia Loren movie from, I don't know, the 30s or 40s or something. I can't quite remember. I hope you have something nice to drink. I have some mint tea with honey, and hopefully you have a project to work on, or maybe a cat in your lap. So this is Harley. Hello, Harley. Would you like to get settled? I'm afraid you're probably not going to be able to really see the details of this colorwork sweater. I originally had a lot more red in it, and I wanted the sweater more brown. This was a bottom-up sweater, and I think I ended up ripping out a lot of the body, which is cleverly disguised by this cat, and then kind of knitting it top down so that it would have more of the brown yarn. Hi, I know this is going to be really hard to show my knitting projects. You will have noticed that on my walk out to the barn, I was really procrastinating about talking about my brioche sweater. So I'm just going to talk about it first. I will procrastinate no longer. So I'm almost done with the first sleeve. And I tried it on this morning. I've tried it on before, but not since I have been working on the sleeves. And all along, I knew that the V was too deep, and I had a remedy in mind. What the other issue is the way that the sleeve comes in. Really, the yoke is way too deep, and it would just have a whole bunch of fabric. Let me see if I can demonstrate this properly. A whole bunch of fabric under the armpit, which would not be comfortable. So what I meant to do before I started recording, and my camera has to turn off for some reason, I meant to try to find another pattern that maybe I'm aware that I think is it Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits Designs. She probably has some brioche, and her patterns are well liked. I also really like the Crayabea, the way that her sweaters fit. She likes the neckline to be snug, which this neckline is not, so I feel like I'm going to do some more work on it eventually. I mean, it's absolutely wearable right now, but I would like it a little more snug. And I definitely have plenty of this local yarn that I'll talk about with another project later. So I could look at the Crayabea website, or my other option is to knit. I mean, I know how to do brioche, so I could knit a, just using a simple raglan recipe, and just knit a raglan. I prefer raglan over V-necks, over crew necks, over boat necks. That didn't make any sense, did it? Crew neck is really what I'm after. A crew neck raglan sweater is what I'm after. And I do have a book that has basic sweater recipes. So I may consult that. I'm going to put that on hold for probably quite a while. For one, I think you're well aware, if you've ever had to frog a almost complete project, that it's a little bit traumatizing, and we should give ourselves time to recover. And we should cast on something else. I'll talk about that later. The next project I want to show you is, I'll just talk, since the cat's in my lap, and it's going to be hard for me to bend down to pick up my sock projects, I'll talk about my poncho. So I haven't made a huge amount of progress on it since I last talked about it, since last Friday. I mean, maybe a row or two. But I am going to modify this. So this is made out of the same yarn as this sweater. So this is Harmony Fields yarn produced from sheep that live on that farm. This is the colorway Truffle. This is the colorway Fromage, the cream color, and then the gray is a commercial yarn. It's Patton's worsted. This red is also a commercial yarn, although now I don't remember what it was. Could be Patton's. So the intent was actually, I'm glad I'm wearing this sweater today. So the intent was to use these as riding garments, riding my horse garments. Are you leaving? Are you finding a better place? You just want yarn. But the neck is too high, and apologize for Harley's tail here. That's not helping me demonstrate. The neck is too high. So I'm going to take the neck out, and maybe I will add it to this sweater. So I'll see if I can do that. Harley really wants that yarn. I think the yarn is kind of sheepy smelling, and I think that really attracts his attention. In the meantime, I am working on lengthening this poncho. This was from an Icelandic pattern where I decided to add owls in for the color work, and then I am extending it in a garter stitch, and it will have a V, so it has flaps for my arms to come out. And like I said, this was thanks Harley, really contributing a lot to this. So this is intended to wear together on cold days while I'm out riding, and then this flap really is a place for my arms to get out comfortably. So long-term project. I mean, winter is sort of behind us. It's going to be in the low 50s today, so not super warm, but not double wool sweater warm either. So that is that project, and I will take advantage of Harley to not be on my lap to grab this, because I'm going to show it to you here shortly. In the meantime, I am going to show you a pair of socks I've been working on out of this book, 52 Weeks of Socks. This is the Branches pattern. It's pattern number 4 in this bag. So this is a woolen women bag with yarn. So during my retail therapy session while I was initially injured, my shoulder, I did some retail therapy and signed up for 3 months worth of woolen women fibers boxes. And that's what that box is that I will show you. But I want to show you this sock. So this is the February colorway, Rodeo and Romance. So you can see it's a fairly complex pattern. It has several charts. The heel flap is a twisted rib. So it really stands out. And I would say I'm about halfway done with the foot. So because this pattern is so complex, and because I have other knitting projects, it's going pretty slowly. I used Chowgu red lace, size 0 in 32-inch magic loop for my needles. And what else do I want to say about this? It's fun. Apparently, I did not buy the sock set. I think I just kind of got tired of having leftovers, and I probably have enough leftovers for contrast heels and cuffs and toes if I want. I don't typically need bags because my mom makes me plenty of bags. In fact, she made this bag, nice quilted bag with a zipper. It's lined. And I have my kind of favorite patterns and some patterns that I design myself. So when I do cast on my raglan brioche sweater, I will probably use that book as a reference. This pair of socks, this is Freckled Whimsey, self-striping yarn. This is from the Harry Potter Club in 2023. So I've done the heel flap and heel turn. I think I am working on the gusset decreases. The pattern is Hermione's everyday socks. I've made numerous pairs of socks out of this. It's a very, from this pattern, it's a very simple pattern, which I love and easily memorizable, and you can read your knitting. So love that. Again, Chowgu red lace. So I'm still on the first sock. This has been kind of my relaxing in the evening knitting. So I don't anticipate having those done anytime soon. And these socks are really for sock stash. They're not for my sock drawer. Sock stash is, it's a Bakery Bears. If you watch their podcast, they have a year-long sock stash, and the idea is that you save these brand new socks for when you need them. So I have a shoe box in my closet that has the socks that I've knit this year. Those are all my works in progress that I am currently working on. I have a blanket that is hibernating, the Coziest Memories blanket. I have a tank top that is hibernating. Just not in the mood to knit. I'm looking outside at the weather. It's kind of windy and rainy out. Not really in the mood for summer knits. So let me talk about this retail therapy box number 2, and then I'll talk about a new cast on that I have planned. So I have it. This is called Denim and Daisies. And it's the March. So it comes with, here's a list. I wasn't aware of this. You can, it also comes with a pattern, not only the yarn, comes a pattern. It has a soy wax candle, a wool wash bar, and I think that is it. And other opportunities. So here is the yarn. Isn't that pretty? Denim and Daisies. Very pretty. So I may download that pattern, and I didn't realize that this came with a free download. And then the soy wax candle, hand poured. It's very fragrant. It also comes with the wool wash bar. So it has coconut oil, palm oil, safflower oil, shea butter, lanolin, and oat protein. It almost sounds delicious, except perhaps the lanolin. And then it comes with these two, looks like embroidery thread. So maybe the sock pattern, sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. Maybe the sock pattern has some embellishment on it. I don't know. Looking forward to finding out. And then it also has a cute little sticker. So that will go in my pattern book. And, oops, just dropped the yarn. And it comes with, it comes with cute stitch markers. So if you can see the daisy and the denim, love that. I'm just going to put this right in this bag. Like I said, I don't need bags, but these are fun, and I only have one more coming, so I'm going to go with it. But here is the bag. Bloom where you are planted. Great advice. So very pretty, perfect for socks. So these will probably be my next cast on. So I need to find where it says that it says so the patch, that's what this is. This is a patch, not a sticker. And it is, feels like fabric. To stick to your denim to embroider. So maybe that is what the embroidery thread is for. So I will keep that as well. And then the card that has the pattern download information on it as well. So I will do that too. I will do that while I am looking for a raglan brioche sweater pattern that I like. I actually want to save this. This tissue paper is kind of nice too. I think I'm gonna, sorry for the crinkling. Harley is fascinated by the crinkling. I'm just gonna put this in the bag because it's pretty. I don't know, that yellow is just so cheery. So these are, I admit, these are a luxury item and something I don't need. They are certainly fun though. I will admit that right now. And that's the point. They are fun. So I'm going to put that there. Put this on the floor. And then I will show you more acquisitions that I got last weekend, because I am going to join a crochet along that Nitty Natty, if you watch the Love and Stitches podcast, you are reasonably caught up, you will know that she is hosting a crochet along that, and this didn't print entirely, but that has these, it's a crochet bag, and it is intended for color work. So it is called the Float Tote. And let me see if I can describe. I don't see a picture, but what it has, I don't see the picture of everything, I should say. The knit along, I think, starts the end of next week. So, okay, I think this is a good picture. So the Float Tote contains a tray, a crocheted tray tray that's in this bottom picture. My camera stopped again. I guess I better hurry up. So it has this tray that's, no, it's this hand, that has this, that contains these yarn cups. And the intention is that you put your yarn cake in these cups, which snap to, wrong hand, to the tray. And it keeps your yarn organized for color work. She has two different sizes. You have the option for a 3, what does she call it? It's 3 and 5. So I think the 3 and 5 refer to the number of cups. I opted for the 5. So it takes a 6 millimeter crochet hook, which I bought. I went to Michael's last weekend. And the yarn that I purchased, I think I'm going to do 3 colors, is this pink, variegated cream, and lavender. I do have some gray cotton. So this is cotton yarn. This is Loops and Threads, classic cotton, 120 yards per ball. And I learned that Michael's offers a senior discount for people over 55. How about that? I also have this gray that I could use. I'm not sure. I don't think it really goes. So it's just not quite the right tone. So I may not use that. I may use it if I'm desperate. But I believe we start with the tray next. That's where it starts. So if you are joining that crochet along, please let me know. Would love to monitor progress with you, or I may see you on the Zoom. Next week is Randy's birthday, so the kickoff Zoom I probably won't be able to attend because it happens, I think, at 4 p.m. in our time zone, and chances are I'm going to plan some birthday celebration for him, and chances are we are going to be busy with that. So that's what I'm up to. I'm not going to philosophize too much. I mean, there just wasn't really anything new this week in terms of the horses. Bragi's just continuing his trailer training, and he is moseying along. I took Odin for a walk. Randy went with me last Sunday. That was great. It was our first hand walk. I had to lead him with my left hand because he does have a tendency when he sees grass, he tends to dive for it, and horses' heads are big and strong. And, you know, I found him pulling my arm, which is not a good idea. Thankfully, he leads nicely with my left hand, and if I can prevent him from doing that, it's all for the better, but I'm not always quick enough to do that. That's all the news I have. I hope that you have a fun weekend with your projects and your critters, if you have critters, and celebrate the end of March and into April in full spring mode. Take care.